Hi class, it's Mrs. Jobert. How is everyone doing today? Give me a thumbs up, you're feeling good. Sideways, you're feeling all right. Thumbs down, you're not feeling very good today. Okay, awesome. I see a bunch of thumbs up. So let me go ahead and get started sharing my screen. Okay. Welcome to Mrs. Jobert's class again. It's so great to see you guys today. There I am in cartoon form, waving at you guys. I'm going to start class today again by going over our Zoom expectations or class expectations while we're on Zoom. Be on time to class, just like you guys were today. Great job, everybody. Keep your video on so I can see all your lovely faces. Use the mute button until it's your turn to speak, please. I'm sorry, I've got this little thing in the way. Until it's your turn to talk. Raise your hand to speak and then unmute yourself after I call on you, please. And use the chat box only when given permission. Last but not least, be respectful. Does everybody understand that? Does anybody have any questions? Everybody's good? Okay, great. Let's move on. So I'm going to start today by going over our learning target. So who wants to read that learning target for me? Sally? Great job. The learning target today is I can solve multiplication facts by using objects. Can anybody give me an example of how this might relate to real life? Like, why is this important to know? Johnny. I love that example, Johnny. In case some of you missed that, Johnny shared that if he was having 3 friends come over and he wanted to buy special cupcakes for him and his 3 friends, he'd have to go to the store and buy 4 cupcakes. And if these were, fancy deluxe cupcakes that cost $3 each, he might want to know how much money does he need before he goes to the store. So that is a wonderful example. So 4 cupcakes times $3 each would equal 4 times 3, which is 12. So you would need $12 in that situation. That is a great real life example. I appreciate that. And one last thing before we dive into the lesson, I would like you guys to self-assess yourself, which means I would like you to rate yourselves on how you are currently feeling about your understanding of multiplication facts. So 4 means I've got this. 3 means I'm getting it, but I still need to work on it. 2 is I still need a lot of help, Mrs. J. And 1 is I'm sorry, I don't understand this at all. And that's okay. We're all here to learn. So click here, please, and this will take you to our class Padlet. And all I want you to do, let me show you real quick. Down here in the right-hand corner, there is a plus sign. I would like you to click on that, and then you will type a number and your name. And that's all I need for now. So I'll give you guys a second to do that. And remember, 4 is I've got this. 3 is pretty much I'm getting it. 2 is I still need to work on this a lot. And 1 is I just don't know this at all yet. Okay, great. You've all rated yourselves. So let's dive into the lesson. And actually, this is where I need to stop sharing my screen for just a second. And I'm going to use the whiteboard today. Let me see if I can make that bigger for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to start by doing a couple of problems by myself, and I want you guys to just observe. Then we're going to work on a couple of them together. And then at the end, I would like you to try doing some by yourself. So we're going to start with I do, and then we do, and then you do. So let me get the first problem up here for you guys. I have 2 times 3 equals. Now, the strategy that I'm going to show you today is called the grouping method. And we are going to use objects to represent numbers. We are going to group our objects into these circles to help us solve the multiplication problems. So the first problem, again, as you can see, is 2 times 3. So there's 2 ways we can do that. We can make 2 circles of 3 objects each, or we can make 3 circles with 2 objects each. But I tend to think it's easier if we do this least number of groups or circles. So I have chosen the 2. So I have made 2 groups or 2 circles. But now what I need to do is I need to put 3 objects in each circle. So I'm going to use the stamp. And I'm going to go with stars. So I have 2 groups and I need 3 objects in each group. So I'm going to do it like this. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. I now have 3 objects in each circle or group in my 2 groups. So the answer would be, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The answer, oops, let me get out of the stamp mode. 2 times 3 is 6. There we go. So we just solved our first problem by using the grouping method. We have grouped our objects into circles to give us a visual for the numbers. Let's try another one. This time I'm going to try 3 times 4. So when I look at that, I start out by looking for the smaller number. 3 is less than 4, so I want to do 3 groups instead of 4 groups. So 1, 2, and 3. Now I want 4 objects in each group. So I'm going to go with hearts and I'm going to count it like this. 1, 1, 1. 2, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3. 4, 4, 4. Now I just have to count up all my hearts to get the answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3 times 4 equals 12. Now we're going to do the next problem together. We are going to try 3 times 5. I'm going to get the circles set up. So I'm going to go with 3 circles instead of 5 circles because I think less groups makes it easier to count at the end. So 3 circles. Who can tell me how many objects I need to put in each circle? Lisa. Good, that's correct. We need to put 5 in. So, Lisa, should I choose X's or check marks? Okay, cool. I'll go with X's. Now I want you guys to count with me. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. Everybody count with me. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. All right, let's count these together, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. So, oops, there I go again. So 3 times 5 is, let me hear you guys say it, 15. Good job. Let me clear that. And then at this point in the lesson, I would do another problem with the students. And then at the end, I would have them tell me every step of the way. So I'm trying to keep this interview sample lesson within my time limit, or else I would go through all of these hypothetical problems. But basically, I would utilize, the online tools I have available to me. I would start the lesson again by greeting everyone and being positive and smiling and working on building that safe, welcoming environment, a positive classroom culture. Again, I would focus on building that rapport with the students, check in with them, see how they're doing. I like to give them student voice, which is done, for example, through the Padlet and through, them showing me their thumbs. And then what I would do after I would do the lesson with the workshop model, or sometimes called the slow release model, which is I do, we do, you do, I would circle back to the Padlet. So I would stop sharing the screen, and then I would go back to my Google slideshow, and I would have them revisit this so that I could assess the learning of my students. So I would have them rate themselves again. I would say, okay, students, now that we finished the lesson, I'd like us to go back and take one more look at this. How do you feel about multiplication facts now that we've had this lesson? And I would ask them to click on the Padlet again and give me another little post-it on the board, or if they want to just go back in and, say somebody was down at, Bobby was at a 2, he could go back and then put, a 3 to show, he's improved or he understands it better now. So I would use that again to give the students a voice and to assess the learning, as well as, data collection, of course, when I would give them formal assessments, prior to starting new material or new curriculum. And then I would have, formative assessments like midway through, a unit or through curriculum. And then again, at the end, I would assess them at the end of the learning, again, to measure the growth, make sure students are indeed improving, by looking at the data. But also I do like to utilize things like Padlet and other methods. So let me stop sharing this. And then, oh yes, and one last thing is after I would have them do the Padlet again, and we don't always have to do the Padlet, sometimes I like to mix it up a little, do different things. But I would also circle back to that learning target, just to what's the word? Just to revisit that and make sure that, they were understanding what the focus of the learning was, what were we trying to learn? Again, why is this important? How does this relate to real life? And then that is about it. Again, I would just, well, sorry, also at the end, I would tell the students that if they have, any questions or concerns, anything at all, that I'm available for them. And I would, always just have my information. I could either share my contact information up on the screen, share my schedule for when I might have like open office hours for student support, or like for when parents need to talk to me, that sort of thing. I would just make sure that I continually provide that information to the students and the parents. Again, just making myself available, um, and just building that relationship with the students so that they know that if they do need help, they can come to me. I'll be there for them. They can trust me. And if they're too embarrassed to maybe speak up during class, like I'm really not understanding this, um, that they will know that they can come to me one on one. And sorry, I'll stop sharing the screen. That they can come to me for one on one personal support. And that is about it. That is how I would typically run an online lesson. And I am a special education teacher. And so I usually am planning specially designed instruction based on IEP goals. And I also differentiate for my different students. We always have students at different levels. And also we always have that in gen ed as well. So say, when, you have a low, a medium, and a high student, you could give that lower student the easier problems, the higher student, the harder problems. And what I would do too, is I would start out with those higher students to be a model for the students who are lower, because I don't typically want to call on my lower students first, because I don't want to make them feel put on the spot or feel embarrassed. And so I liked them to have that extra time to, learn new material, to process it. Again, to have their peers model that for them until they can build the confidence and feel comfortable also sharing their knowledge and their skills. So I hope I addressed everything adequately. And thank you so much for your time in watching this video.